We start with Liverpool. Some interesting quotes from Mohamed Salah. He's reaffirmed his desire to remain at Liverpool, but insists his future rests in the club's hands. This is what he said in an interview with GQ magazine. "I want to stay, but it's not in my hands, it's in their hands. They know what I want. I'm not asking for crazy stuff." The thing is, when you ask for something and they show you they can give you something because they appreciate what you did for the club. I've been here for my 5th year now. I know the club very well. I love the fans. The fans love me. But with the administration, they have been told the situation, it is in their hands. OK, got our guest today on Transfer Talk. We really want to get into this. And straight away, Nabeed, what have you made of that?
I think it's a big positive. Like you said at the start there, I think Liverpool fans want Salah to stay. He's the main man, and I think he's gone up a level from last season where maybe Liverpool are maybe at a point where they were thinking we might be able to get a big load of cash and do basically the same cycle they've been doing on repeat. But then he's gone up a level this season. In my opinion, he's the best footballer in the world at the moment on current form. I think the slight downside to that might be that maybe Liverpool are holding off and saying, let's see if someone comes in for you, because we don't know if Barcelona, Madrid or whoever it is has the money. And if nobody comes in for you, then you're kind of stuck with us and maybe we can pay you a little bit less. Personally, I'd be putting whatever it takes on the table. You can have my laptop, my iPad. He's got to be staying at Liverpool. We need him in the Premier League.
I mean, you're looking at this situation, it has been rumbling on for some time. I definitely do believe it is a positive because Mo Salah has said he wants to stay at Liverpool. It's only a positive, though, if the deal is done. There'll be plenty of Liverpool fans across the world who are very vocal on socials, as we know. They will be expressing their opinions if they don't manage to get this deal done, or they'll start to maybe question, well, why isn't this being done? If the fans want it, more importantly, the player wants it, why aren't the club making their stance known about what actually will be happening with this situation? Now, look at what Mo Salah has done. 229 games, 148 goals, 56 assists as well. He's proven himself on the pitch time and time again. He's provided memories for Liverpool fans as well and helped them get that Premier League trophy. He's brought silverware, he's brought goals. What more can he do? Why aren't the owners, why aren't FSG, why aren't they actually cementing his future and reassuring the fans, the player, everyone connected to the club that Mo Salah will remain a Liverpool player?
Why? It's pretty simple. Why? Liverpool don't want to get Aubameyang'd. It's that simple. They don't want to pay someone that's approaching 30, a big contract in case his form dips or anything sort of off the field happens or injury hits or anything like that, and they're hit with a 4-year contract on a huge wage that they then can't get out of later. And I'm not saying that's going to happen with Mo Salah. As Nabeed was just saying, like, he is one of, if not the best footballer in the world right now. So the risk seems minimal. But we're talking about a COVID economy. We're talking about a situation where other clubs, if they wanted to come in for him, can't, because they just can't afford to anymore. So that's why Liverpool are going to be a little bit more careful with this. And look, he wants to stay. The club want him. I'm pretty sure this will happen eventually.
Well, Liverpool fans, we do want to hear from you. Get in touch, #Transfer Talk. We need to talk to a Liverpool fan right now, so we're going to. Harriet Pryor is from the Anfield Wrap, and she joins us now. Harriet, thanks very much for coming on. Those quotes that you'll have just heard me read out, you might have seen them already. How do they make the Liverpool fans feel?
Look, I think this saga's been going on for quite a while now, hasn't it? And actually, these quotes aren't necessarily anything new that Salah's coming out and saying. I think there's been rumblings in the past and past little interviews and snippets that he said suggest that he does absolutely want to stay at Liverpool. And there's plenty of reasons for that. He references how much the fans love him. He references how much he loves the fans. We know he understands the culture of the club. I know he understands the identity of it. Mo Salah wants to remain a Liverpool player. And I think him coming out and making that clear just show that his intentions are true. And I think for him, it's almost less about the money at this point than it is the recognition. And he wants the appreciation, and he wants to know that actually he deserves what he's asking for. So I think for us it feels quite positive, to be honest, that he's coming out yet again and saying, look, this is where I see my future. I want to stay here. Now let's get this done.
Harry, you say, obviously, you think it's positive, hoping he stays. Salah himself, as he said, he isn't asking for anything crazy, but I'm guessing it still would be a large amount of money to keep him. So how important is it that Liverpool get this done?
Yeah, it's absolutely vital at this point. I think it's got to be at the top of the priority list for our owners, for FSG, for the administration to get this offer and this deal and this new contract over the line, because I think we all know that if this doesn't happen, it's going to cause a large amount of outrage. You mentioned the fans online there. I think out of any result, any other player, this would be the real sticking point. If this didn't happen, that there would be a lot of anger around it. So it's got to be of the highest importance now. I think it's interesting there you mentioned the money. We know that the sticking point for FSG has been this reluctance to want to break the pay structure, to pay Mo Salah more than any other player is on, and to go out of the realms of what they usually do for a player. I think when you're dealing with the best player in the world, or one of at the moment, I certainly think he is the best one, that there's got to be an understanding that you might have to pay a little bit more than you're used to and that you're comfortable with to keep hold of him. And it's not like you're bringing in Haaland or an Mbappe that haven't proven themselves at Liverpool. He's been there for 5 years. He's helped us, as you referenced at the top of the show, he's helped us win Premier League trophies, Champions League trophies. He's helped us win absolutely everything. He's proven himself. The teammates love him. We all love him. So that there needs to be just an acceptance that you will have to pay him a bit more, but he absolutely deserves it. And bringing in a new player of his calibre and of his quality with no guarantees would cost far more money for the owners. So I think they need to be thinking, we need to get this done and we need to get this over the line.
Harriet, this might get clipped up. Who knows? Mo Salah might see this right now. It might go across all socials. This is your chance to speak to him. What does Mo Salah mean to Liverpool?
He really does mean absolutely everything. I think the thought of Mo Salah looking at me and listening to what I say makes me a bit stressed. I won't think about that. But to us fans, he is just such a special talent, such a special player. And I think you mentioned there that the form and maybe a reluctance around signing a 30-year-old, he just is reaching new levels time and time again. And I don't know the amount of podcasts I've been on after matches where he's scored another ridiculous goal and made the absolute impossible just look possible and look so easy. And the ease that he does everything with is absolutely mind-blowing. And he's such a special player, and we want him around scoring goals for as long as possible. There's no doubt in our mind that we want him to be a Liverpool player for the rest of his career, and I just think he's still got new levels to go to, and that's actually a bit scary, isn't it? So yeah, Mo Salah, if you're watching, please stay. We know we need to get this over the line. So
Harry, is there a little bit of PTSD within Liverpool fans, me included, that Liverpool previously have sold their best players to then go forward and spend again? And obviously a bit of a catch-22 because Liverpool fans want to spend, but if it comes at the price of Salah, is that PTSD now sort of coming back in where we're going, oh my God, it might be happening all over again?
Yeah, I think you referenced their previous situations. Obviously, the one for me that sticks in my mind is maybe the Coutinho situation and how that didn't get resolved. Obviously, with the players we signed in the aftermath with Van Dijk and with Alisson, and that seemed to be an absolutely the best bit of business we've done in many years now. I think with Salah, it's an entirely different situation purely because of stage and the level that we're at and him being so key to being able to get us there and also to be able to keep us there. I don't think you can compare it to anything in the last few years, like the Wijnaldum situation. Obviously, for us, we a lot of fans wanted to keep him around, and even now there's games where we wish we had him in our midfield. But they're really incomparable for me. I think even with Coutinho, and as amazing as he was for us, this is an entirely different situation altogether, because Salah has not only helped to bring us those levels that we've never reached before in the last few years, but he's key to keeping us there. And I think we all know that. And if you're a Liverpool player and you're coming in and you're playing with Mo Salah, or you're thinking, oh, I want to play at Liverpool, you're a potential transfer and Mo Salah is there, that is going to be a huge, massive draw for everyone involved. And I think there's an acceptance as well in the squad that he is the best and they want to play with him. And if that means paying him a little bit more than they're on, I actually think a lot of players would be okay with that. So yeah, a little bit maybe of an anxiety around it, but ultimately I think this is going to be one that they're going to get over the line, and it's not going to be allowed to drag on as long as other situations have.
I hope for your sake they do. Excellent stuff, Harriet. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Liverpool fans have been getting in touch. Hashtag transfer talk. Keep doing that, by the way. Reese says we can afford whatever he wants. Get the contract signed. There's a Liverpool fan here who says, as a 40-year-old Liverpool fan, I can say that Mo Salah is the best thing I've seen in a red shirt since Dalglish was king of the Kop. Please get this deal done, Liverpool. And Sean says, I find it ridiculous the club haven't offered him a new contract. This is currently the best player in the world. Get him signed. The owners might as well sell up if they let him go.